So you want to start a men's group, but you're not sure how to go about choosing your men. Today I want to give you 5 ways to effectively recruit men for a long-lasting relationship with a highly effective group of guys. I want to jump into this episode. Every so often, I want to talk to guys who are leading other men. I don't know if you guys know this, but we have an online Zoom group called The Locker Room, where guys call in twice a month. One of those phone calls, I just answer questions about their life, about manhood, fathering, parenting, anything that they want to know about, I answer. But then the other meeting that we have, this is a bi-monthly meeting. The other meeting we have, we bring our national training director in, Dr. Matt Alexander. And Matt actually teaches men how to do men's ministry. So I want to give you a regular dosage of men's ministry tips, because we have a lot of guys who are reaching out about men's ministry. And realize if you ever use our curriculum to start a group, you just reach out to us. We have a team captain's gym flag. It's a 3x5 gym flag. It is awesome. And we have that for you to put in your office, your gym, your man cave, whatever you want to do. So here are 5 ways that you can select a team of guys, a group of guys that will have great chemistry, that'll be a successful group. This goes all the way back to a book I read years and years ago by Robert E. Coleman called The Master Plan of Evangelism. And in that book, it alludes to how Jesus chose his men. And then later on, through other leadership stuff, I realized there were certain methods that leaders use to choose their groups and their teams. And I think this will deeply affect the guys and the ministry that you have to men. When I started Men in the Arena in 2011, 2011, I started with 15 guys in a coffee shop in a small farm community of McMinnville, Oregon, population at the time, 30,000 people, okay? So our ministry has exploded to a global ministry, but it started with those 15 guys who had tremendous chemistry they had 5 C's. I want to talk about them. Here we go. The first C I want to talk about is this. I recruited men who were Christ-filled believers. I think when we're building a team, even Jesus had a Judas. So I think there is always an opportunity to take a risk on somebody. But for the most part, I wanted guys that were committed to Jesus, right? So I'm not talking about they have church. They need to have Christ. If a man has Christ, he will overflow, he will bleed into the church. But we have to start with Christ. So are these men committed to Christ? The next thing is this, competency. When I'm putting a group together, I want to know that I have competent people. My board of directors are from all over the country. They have all different types of temperaments, all different types of personality types, all different skill sets, but each one plays a role based on their area of competency. So find men who are competent in what they're doing. I want, and that is different for every group. It may not be as much of a factor if you're starting a small group, but you do want guys to be able to have certain skill sets. The next thing I look for chemistry. I want to make sure that all of the personalities, all the temperaments, all of the generations, the age groups, if you're intergenerational, which I highly, highly recommend, that all of these things play out to have a group that is very, very close-knit, that has a lot of chemistry. Chemistry is a deal breaker for me. If I have everything else, but I don't have a guy with chemistry with our group, it's not worth bringing him on, because he's going to eventually hurt the team. So the next thing I want to talk about is commitment. Are they going to be committed? When our board of directors has to give a minimum number of dollars a year to be on the board. They have to fly across country twice a year and pay their own way to do it, to be in our board meetings. They're all deeply committed in some area of ministry within our organization. These guys are committed. When you start a group of men and they cannot commit to at least 75% attendance, that's 3 out of 4 Sundays a month or whatever day of the week you choose, do not let them come on your team. Their lack of commitment will be a cancer to your group. Find committed men. The last one is this, character. I want high moral character. I want to be around men of character. John Fitzgerald Kennedy once said, a rising tide causes all ships to lift. So when I'm putting a team together, no matter what it is, if it's a coaching staff, if it's a board of directors, if it's a small group, I want men of high moral character, because a guy who does not have high moral character will pull the others down. We will seek our own level. First Corinthians 15:33, Paul says, and Paul's blowing up the Corinthians church. I mean, these guys were spiritual. They were a miraculous church. I mean, they had sin that ran so deep. It got to the point where Paul finally said in 1 Corinthians 15:33, hey, listen, bad company corrupts good character. Do not be deceived here. And so I want to say the same thing. When you're putting a team together, you want a team of men who have high moral character. I mean, that's really important. So guys, those are the 5 C's I use when I build a team. I look for guys who have Christ. They have great character. They have great competency. They have great chemistry with the group. They're committed. And that's what I'm looking for. And it has served me well over the years. Guys, listen, I go deeper into this in my men's ministry playbook. And this book is, if you're starting a men's group or if you're involved in men's ministry, it is a phenomenal resource for you. We wrote this specifically for men who are doing ministry in churches. It's the Men's Ministry Playbook, a proven strategy to impact men. You can pick it up on Amazon. Until next time, feel the wet sand on the arena floor. Hear the deafening roar of the crowd. Taste the sweetness of victory. Smell the stench of battle. Get in the game. Get dirty. Grind it out. Start a men's group. And be a man.